Hello everyone, Rituro here with a video review of Banished for Toronto Thumbs. The first thing to understand with Banished is that this is not your average city building sim. Despite having the aesthetics of a Scandinavian version of Tropico, Banished has more in common with the likes of Dwarf Fortress. Instead of money, fame, or power, the goal, very simply, is to stay alive. I say that's simply the goal, though after a few minutes with the tutorial, it becomes very clear that simple is not a word in Banished's vocabulary. To build a house, for example, you'll need raw resources like wood and stone. This in turn will mean you'll need to send villagers out to chop and mine, then haul the resources back to a stockpile, at which point you can finally start the building process. Of course, if you want things to go smoothly, you'll need to make sure your villagers have food in their bellies and clothes on their backs, not to mention some half-decent tools. Did I mention this game isn't exactly simple? Not that you should be scared off by Banished's demanding complexity. Far from it. Once you understand the basics, there's a lot of joy to be had from seeing a tiny hamlet blossom into a bustling village, where people aren't freezing to death, hungry and alone in a bitter winter, but simply dying of old age. Well, at least I get joy out of it. At success, I mean, not watching people get old and die. My point is, this kind of slow yet rewarding gameplay, this kind of micromanagement is something that I can thrive in. Your tolerance and mileage may vary with Banished. There's no combat or multiplayer, and there's no pile of riches to amass, as all the trading is done via barter once you build a marketplace. Again, your only metric of success is your village's continued existence. Even if you do find the challenge of keeping a small band of settlers alive as long as possible to be an entertaining way to spend an afternoon, the main knock against Banished is its lack of endgame. There's nothing stopping you from spanning the map with houses, farms, and whatnot. Well, aside from the potential natural disaster, poor harvest, or livestock infection. But once you've done that, what else is there to do? Sadly, not much else, other than start up a new map with different settings and maybe go up one level of difficulty. Speaking of, when Banished says hard difficulty, they mean hard. Every worker counts in the early game, so starting with only 4 families is a major setback. Where you'll really feel it, though, is in the lack of seeds. Seeds are the most precious commodity in Banished. Having them allows you to plant either trees or produce, giving your villagers a vital source of nourishment. No seeds means no agriculture. You'll have to fill your stores either by hunting, fishing, or foraging. As you can imagine, that's a fairly tall order when trying to grow your village, and certainly not a sustainable one. Or, to put that another way, hard difficulty is hard. Not impossibly so, but certainly not for the faint of heart or thin of patience. Ultimately, Banished isn't going to be for everyone. After all, the casual gamer is more likely to gravitate towards SimCity than Dwarf Fortress. However, if you're in the market for something more challenging, Banished is the game for you. For Toronto Thumbs, this is Rituro.